السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته يا شيخ علي.
أبو عبد الرحمن, how are you?
الحمد لله يا شيخ علي.
We are a bit late, تأخرنا قليلا.
نعم يا شيخ علي.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. أما بعد. We are on Seerah A'ishah al-Mu'minin radiyallahu anha from the book Siyar A'alām An-Nubala by Imām Adh-Dhahabi rahimahullah Shamsuddin. We had read a number of issues regarding her radiyallahu anha. We are specifically on page 169 in the print of Mu'assasatul Risala that we have depended on. The print of Mu'assasatul Risala with the tahqiq of Shaykh Shu'aib al-Arnaut and the Muqaddimah of Dr. Bashar Awad Ma'ruf. We read from the second volume. We started from page 139. We are on page 169. Meaning that we have covered 30 pages, word for word, with full explanations regarding the life of Āishah, radiyallahu anha, Siddiqa, Mubarakah, radiyallahu anha, Mu'minin. In the last class, our discourse was about the sababu an-nuzul, those things that were precedent to the revelation of the verse on At-Tibyān. Tayammum is what we make in place of wudu. When we do not find water for wudu, we make Tayammum. Or when the individual is sick, such that using water for wudu will worsen the sickness or will cause the sickness not to become healed easily, we resort to Tayammum, as Allah mentioned in that verse in Surah Al-Ma'idah. وَإِن كُنتُم مَّرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ أَوْ جَاءَ أَحَدٌ مِّنكُم مِّنَ الْغَائِطِ أَوْ لَامَسْتُمُ النِّسَاءَ فَلَمْ تَجِدُوا مَاءً فَتَيَمَّمُوا صَعِيدًا طَيِّبًا فَامْسَحُوا بِوُجُوهِكُمْ وَأَيْدِيكُمْ مِنْهُ. So this was the verse that was revealed in the circumstance of the narration we were in, or we were upon, regarding Āishah radiyallahu anha. And that occurs on page 169 in our copy that's displayed on the screen. In it, Imām Adh-Dhahabi, as we read in the last class, he reported from Hisham ibn Urwa. This narration actually occurs in Sahih al-Bukhari, in Sahih Muslim, Sunan Abi Dawud, Sunan al-Nasa'i, and in other books of hadith. This isnad here is as it occurs in Sahih al-Bukhari. Hisham ibn Urwa, the son of Urwa ibn Zubayr. We remember we have repeatedly mentioned about Urwa ibn Zubayr. Urwa ibn Zubayr is the son of Asma'u bintu Abi Bakr as-Siddiq, who is the elder sister of Āishah. So Urwa ibn Zubayr grew up with his maternal aunt, our mother Āishah. So he was used to reporting from her about her life, about her knowledge, about poems, about history, about hadith, about fiqh, about tafsir of Quran, about her private life, and so many other things regarding Āishah were conveyed to us by Urwa ibn Zubayr. And Urwa ibn Zubayr had a son called Hisham. This Hisham is the one reporting this hadith. So we say Hisham ibn Urwa an Abihi an Āishah radiyallahu anha. So the reports come from our mother Āishah. Urwa ibn Zubayr is reporting it from her. عنها استعارت قلادة في سفر مع رسول الله. Our mother Āishah radiyallahu anha had borrowed a qilada. The qilada is the necklace. She borrowed a necklace radiyallahu anha في سفر مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم, when she was to embark upon a journey along with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Āishah was to travel with the Prophet alayhi salatu salam. So to make up for her adornment, she borrowed an earring, she borrowed a necklace radiyallahu anha. In some reports, it said that that necklace was worth 12 silver coins, 12 dirhams. That necklace was worth 12 dirhams. If you calculate 12 dirhams now, it will be something close to 25 to 30,000 naira or thereabout. About 30 to 40,000 naira or thereabout. That is the worth of that beautiful necklace that she had borrowed from her sister Asma'u bint Abi Bakr as-Siddiq, the wife of Zubair ibn Awwam radiyallahu anha. So our mother Āishah ista'arat qiladatan fi safarin ma'a Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. She had borrowed a qilada, a necklace, while traveling with the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu. Don't forget, this is why the scholars say you want to travel on a journey, you can borrow a necklace, you can borrow a shoe, you can borrow a jilbab, a woman can borrow a dress. I'm going to attend a nikah, and you loan me that dress. You can, because of this hadith of Āishah radiyallahu anha. فَانْسَلَّتْ مِنْهَا. This necklace that she had from her sister Asma, انسلت منها, it fell off from her. وكان ذلك المكان يقال له السلسل. It fell off in a place, وكان ذلك المكان, and that place where the qilada, where the necklace fell off from her, يقال له السلسل. It used to be named as-sulsul. As-sulsul is around Dhul Hulayfa, in the present day Medina, somewhere around Dhul Hulayfa. The place is called what? As-Sulsul. That was where this incident took place. فَذُكِرَ لِرَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ. The loss of her necklace was mentioned to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. فَطَلَبُوهَا حَتَّى وَجَدُوهَا. So they went to search for the necklace حَتَّى وَجَدُوهَا, until they found the necklace. In some reports it said فَبَعَثَ الرَّسُولُ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَآلِهِ وَسَلَّمَ نَاسًا مِنْ أَصْحَابِهِ فِي طَلَبِهَا. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam بَعَثَ نَاسًا. He sent a group of people, min ashabihi, from amongst his companions, radiyallahu anhum, fi talabiha, to go and search for the necklace of Āishah, radiyallahu anha. And in some report it said, he made Usayd ibn al-Hudayr to lead that group of people. Usayd ibn al-Hudayr was not a young person, radiyallahu anha. It was from amongst those who came to make bay'atu with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam at Al-Aqabah, before the hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. So he used to be referred to as one of the nuqaba, one of the heads and representatives of the people of Medina, the Ansar, who came to have a meeting with the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, guaranteeing him of safety and followership if he migrated to Medina. So Usayd ibn Hudayr. There is also something about Usayd ibn Hudayr. Radiyallahu anhu. He was one of the reciters of the Quran with very, very sonorous voice amongst the companions. Radiyallahu. We usually know about Ubay ibn Ka'b in terms of reading the Quran. We usually know about Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. We usually know about Salim Mawla Abi Hudhaifa. We usually know about Mu'adh ibn Jabal. Radiyallahu anhu. These are Qurra'u from amongst the companions. We know about Zayd ibn Thabit. Radiyallahu anhu. Please add it to it. From amongst those who were from the best reciters of the Quran, amongst the Ansar especially, was who? Usayd ibn al-Hudayr. He was the head of those the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam had sent to search for the necklace of his wife, Āishah, radiyallahu anha. The ulama say this is evidence that the head of the Muslim community or the head of a people can ask a group amongst those people to help fulfill a particular need of his family. The head of a people. You have 10, 15, 20 brothers traveling on a journey. The head of them, the head of the journey, he has his wife with him. So, please help me get this for my wife. Help me buy a bottle of Coke for Umu. So and so to take. Some of the brothers can feel, oh, he's sending me to buy something for his wife. So the head of a people can make a number of the members in that group of people to help achieve a particular goal that has to do with himself and the members of his family because it is affecting him and he is your head. So the Prophet ﷺ sent Usayd ibn al-Hudayr to head the group of people, like Āishah said, بَعْثَ نَاسًا مِنْ أَصْحَابِهِ فِي طَلَبِهَا. The Prophet ﷺ, he sent a group of people min ashabihi, from amongst his companions radiyallahu anhum, fi talabiha. Fi talabi ماذا? في طلب قلادتها التي هي استعارتها ممن؟ من أسماء أختها رضي الله عنهما. She said رضي الله عنها وحضرت الصلاة. حضرت الصلاة. So as they went to search for the necklace, it became that it was time for Salah. وَلَمْ يَكُمْ مَعَهُمْ مَاءٌ. While they waited that the necklace of Āishah was being searched for, radiyallahu anha, لَمْ يَكُمْ مَعَهُمْ مَاءٌ. They did not have any water with them with which they could make the wudu. فَصَلَّوْا بِغَيْرِ وُضُوءٍ. فَصَلَّوْا بِغَيْرِ وُضُوءٍ. So they had to observe that salah without wudu. They had to observe that salah بِغَيْرِ وُضُوءٍ, without wudu. فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ آيَةَ التَّيَمُّمِ. So that was the circumstance in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed that verse, وَإِن كُنتُم مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ أَوْ جَاءَ أَحَدٌ مِّنكُم مِّنَ الْغَائِطِ. Don't forget, كَانُوا عَلَى سَفَرٍ. In this case, they were upon a journey. Meaning that if you're upon a journey and you can't find sufficient water for wudu and drinking, you give prevalence, you give preference to drinking the water you have, and then you make tayammum for your salah. So in this case, like she said, radiyallahu anha, lam yakum ma'ahum ma'un fasallaw bighayri wudu'in. So they observed that salah because they did not have water and they were upon a journey. Sallaw bighayri wudu'in. They observed that salah without using water for ablution. فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ آيَةَ التَّيَمُّمِ. So Allah sent down the verse on tayammum. فَقَالَ لَهَا أُسَيْدِ ibn al-Hudayr. Usayd ibn al-Hudayr. Who was Usayd ibn al-Hudayr? It was Usayd ibn al-Hudayr al-Ansari, radiyallahu anhu, who was the head of the delegation sent by the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam to search for the necklace of our mother Āishah, radiyallahu anha. فَقَالَ لَهَا Usaid ibn Hudayr. So Usaid ibn Hudayr said to our mother Āishah, this is evidence that if there is a need, if there's a pressing need, the circumstance can lead a man to have to speak to somebody else, and that somebody else will be a woman. There's a need. He was the one who was sent to go and look for her necklace. So when he came back, and then there is this verse revealed about Tayammum. And don't forget, Usaid ibn Hudayr was a very, very elderly person amongst the companions. So I'm sure he will be looking at Āishah in the status of his own daughter. Radiyallahu anhum. So Usaid ibn Hudayr said, Jazakillahu khaira. Let us note this. It's very common. And it is becoming more common now, saying, Jazakumullahu khaira. Jazakumullahu khaira. I have seen a number of people saying that to me yesterday, day before yesterday. People that I don't think they can know what it means to say Jazakumullahu khairan. Everybody is saying Jazakumullahu khairan. Because the people of the Sunnah kept saying Jazakumullahu khairan, Jazakumullahu khairan. Everybody starts saying Jazakumullahu khairan now amongst the Muslims. And this is very, very good thing. Because it comes in consonance with the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, one day he was talking to the Ansar, the Prophet himself, alayhi salatu wasalam. So he said, Wa antum ma'ashar al-ansar, fajazakumullahu khaira, antum ma'ashar al-ansar. O assembly, O gathering of you Ansar, jazakumullahu khaira. May Allah reward you with abundance of goodness. Jazakumullahu khaira. Let me quickly mention here. Many times you hear a brother say, Jazakumullahu kulla khairin. Jazakumullahu khairan ma khamsumiyat marra. And all of these. Don't add anything to this expression so that you don't spoil the expression. When you say Jazakumullahu khaira, this is an expression that had come from revelation to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It had come from Sunnah. Don't disrupt that Sunnah. Say Jazakumullahu khaira. You also hear people say Jazakumullahu khair al-jaza. You don't need all these maf'ulul mutlaq. You just need Jazakumullahu khairan, because this khairan has come with nakira. It has come with a nakira, khairan. What that means is that with a lot of goodness that knows no bounds. So don't define that khairan again. Tremendous goodness. Jazakumullahu khairan. That's khairan, no bounds. So don't say Jazakumullahu khairan alfa marra. Yeah, it's not a necessary statement, because khairan itself has told you that it's abundance. You can't increase it, you can reduce it with your own additions. Don't add your additions to Jazakumullahu khairan so that you don't bring deficiency to that expression. It suffices Jazakumullahu khairan, Jazakumullahu khairan. So one day the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to the people of Medina, the Ansar, he said, Wa antum ma'ashar al-Ansar. And O you assembly of the Ansar, fajazakumullahu khaira. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you with abundant goodness. فَإِنَّكُمْ أَعِفَّةٌ صُبْرٌ فَإِنَّكُمْ أَعِفَّةٌ صُبْرٌ. Because you are a decent set of people. Subrun, patient. You are decent and patient. Jazakumullahu khaira. The Ansar, the Prophet was greeting them and congratulating them. He was praising them and extolling their goodness. So he said, Antum ma'ashar al-Ansar, fajazakumullahu khaira, fa innakum a'iffatun subrun. You are a'iffah. That is the jamu of afif. You are a decent set of people, very decent, clean, neat people. They still have it till today. You know how decent the people of Medina are. He said, فَإِنَّكُمْ أَعِفَّةٌ صُبْرٌ. You are also so extremely patient. So for that, he was saying to them what? Jazakumullahu khaira. This is from the Sunnah of our religion. The Prophet himself too said, Jazakumullahu khairan to people. Abdullah ibn Umar, that author, that hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, it occurs in the Mustadrak of Al-Imam Hakim. Al-Imam Ibn Hibban also reported it. And Al-Imam Muhammad Nasir al-Din al-Albani grades it authentic in Silsilatul Ahadith al-Sahihah. Likewise, Abdullah ibn Umar, radiyallahu anhuma, he said, حضرت had Abi hina usib. Hina usib, when my daddy was stabbed. حضرته, I came to visit him. حضرت Abi hina usiba, I came to visit my daddy when he was stabbed. وقالوا, the people began to greet Umar ibn al-Khattab, saying that Jazakallahu khaira, because Umar had put great efforts into the service of Islam and the expansion of Islam. So when he was stabbed and the people were noticing that Umar might pass away, they began to say Jazakallahu khaira to Umar ibn al-Khattab. This is going to make us understand that saying Jazakumullahu khairan, you do that a lot to someone you see doing anything good, either to you or to the generality of the Muslims. Say Jazakumullahu khairan. So they were greeting Umar radiyallahu anhu for his efforts upon the Ummah. They were saying Jazakumullahu khairan, Jazakumullahu khairan, Jazakumullahu khairan. And there's also an expression, although with some slight weakness, but it has come through various routes that we can say yes with what we have heard from this author from Sahih Muslim, that author of Abdullah ibn Umar occurs in Sahih Muslim. From what we have read from that, what is common that we read regarding Jazakumullahu khairan and Umar ibn al-Khattab was collected by Al-Imam Abu Bakr ibn Abi Shayba in his Musannaf, that Umar said radiyallahu anhu, لو يعلم أحدكم ما له في قوله جزاك الله خيرا لا أكثر منها بعضكم على بعض. لو يعلم أحدكم, if any one of you knows ما له, what he will benefit في قوله جزاك الله خيرا, in his saying جزاك الله خيرا to his brother, لا أكثر منها بعضكم على بعض. You all would always be saying it all the time. You would have been saying it muchly if you know what great values you benefit by saying to yourself, Jazakumullahu khairan. This author has some weakness, but the last one we mentioned from Abdullah ibn Umar will make us understand that Umar radiyallahu anhu takes saying Jazakumullahu khairan as something very, very important. This was what Usayd ibn al-Khudayr said to our mother Āishah, Jazakillahu khairan. For wallahi, Usayd ibn al-Khudayr went on to Āishah radiyallahu anha. He said, for wallahi, I swear by Allah, ma nazala biki amrun qattu takrahinahu illa ja'ala Allahu laki fihi khayra. For wallahi, I swear by Allah, ma nazala biki amrun qattu, nothing came down to you, no worry reached you, takrahinahu, something you dislike, nothing happens to you that you dislike, illa ja'ala Allahu laki fihi khayra, except that Allah places a lot of goodness in it for you. In some reports, it says, إِلَّا جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لَكِ فِيهِ خَيْرًا وَلِلْمُسْلِمِينَ فِيهِ بَرَكَةً إِلَّا جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لَكِ فِيهِ خَيْرًا. There is nothing displeasing that happens to you, O Āishah, except that جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لَكِ فِيهِ خَيْرًا. At the end of it, Allah brings goodness for you inside that thing, even though it was displeasing to you. وَلِلْمُسْلِمِينَ فِيهِ بَرَكَةً. And then Allah, from that thing that is displeasing to you, you acted well, you will be patient, you will handle it properly. And then Allah makes that circumstance become a thing of goodness for you and a thing of blessings for the rest of the Muslims. وَلِلْمُسْلِمِينَ فِيهِ بَرَكَةً جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لِلْمُسْلِمِينَ فِيهِ بَرَكَةً. Allah makes it a thing of blessings for the rest of the Muslims. Radiyallahu anha. She lost her necklace, and the loss of her necklace became a means of goodness for us. What is that goodness? When we don't find water, we can make tayammum. Or when we are upon a journey, we can't find water, we make tayammum. Or when we are ill, illness will increase or reduce the healing process, then we should make tayammum. All these goodness came to us from the loss of the necklace by who? Our mother Āishah radiyallahu anha. فَجَعَلَهُ اللَّهُ لِلْمُسْلِمِينَ فِيهِ بَرَكَةً. Allah placed a lot of blessings in it for the rest of the Muslims. Imām Adh-Dhahabi said, رواه ابن نمير وعلي ibn Mushir anhu. Ibn Numayr and Ali ibn Mushir. Ibn Numayr is Abdullah ibn Numayr, Abu Hisham al-Kufi. Ibn Numayr, Abdullah ibn Numayr, Abu Hisham al-Kufi, and himself and Ali ibn Mushir have reported this hadith from Hisham ibn Urwa. Moving forward, Al-Imam Adh-Dhahabi said, Malikun an Abdurrahman ibn al-Qasim an Abihi. He said this report is from Al-Imam Malik rahimahullah. And this hadith occurs in Sahih al-Bukhari. This isnad is from Sahih al-Bukhari, is the isnad of who? Al-Imam Malik rahimahullah. He is reporting from Abdurrahman ibn al-Qasim, who is reporting from his father Al-Qasim ibn Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr al-Siddiq radiyallahu anhuma. And Āishah radiyallahu anha qalat, another very, very close person to Āishah reports this. Al-Qasim ibn Muhammad. Muhammad is the younger brother of Āishah. Al-Qasim is the son of Muhammad. And Al-Qasim also grew up with who? With Āishah. So he is the one reporting this. The first one was through Urwa, the son of her sister. The second one is through who? Al-Qasim, the son of her brother. The two of them are reporting from Āishah. Here it is the report of Al-Qasim from Āishah radiyallahu anha, who said, خرجنا مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم في بعض أسفاره. We started a journey along with the Prophet Muhammad عليه الصلاة والسلام في بعض أسفاره, during one of his journeys. حتى إذا كنا بالبيداء أو بذات الجيش. The journey continued until إذا كنا بالبيداء, until we got to Al-Bayda. Al-Bayda, some of the scholars say it is also an area around where? Dhul Hulayfa. Some of the scholars say that Al-Bayda'u is somewhere around Dhul Hulayfa. Or he said Bizatil al-Jaysh. We got to a place called Zatul Jaysh. The scholars also say that Zatul Jaysh is also an area around Dhul Hulayfa. So we are not far away. This incident occurred somewhere around Dhul Hulayfa. Don't forget, in the preceding report it's mentioned as Sulsul. That area is around As-Sulsul, somewhere around there. And As-Sulsul too is an area around Dhul Hulayfa. So whether As-Sulsul or what Zatul Jaysh or what Al-Bayda, that area, that was where this incident occurred to our mother Āishah radiyallahu anha. She said, Hatta idha kunna bil-Bayda. When we continued that journey and reached Al-Bayda, or Bizatil Jaysh, or the place called Zatul Jaysh, and all of these are around where? Dhul Hulayfa. In Qata'a Iqdi, my necklace got caught. فأقام رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم على التماسه. So the Prophet waited, and the people went on to search for it. أقام رسول الله على التماسه. The Prophet ensured that it was searched for. The Prophet ensured that it should be searched. As we read from previous reports, he raised a group of companions. بعث ناسا من أصحابه. He raised a group of companions headed by who? Usayd ibn Hudayr, to go and search for that necklace. وَأَقَامَ النَّاسُ مَعَهُ وَلَيْسُوا عَلَى مَاءٍ. The people waited with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet waited so that the necklace could be searched for. And so the people waited along with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. فَأَتَى النَّاسُ أَبَا بَكْرٍ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. So the people came to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu. You would also see when we say radiyallahu anhu to the companions, radiyallahu anhu, we say Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu. Some of the people say, hi, where did you find that? We will find that from their own narrations. When Āishah mentions Abu Bakr, what does she say? Radiyallahu anhu. And it has come like that from generation over generation, from the Salaf radiyallahu anhu. That whenever they mentioned Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and all of those, they make at-taraddi alayhim. So Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu, the people went to him while they waited for those who went to search for the necklace of our mother, Āishah radiyallahu anha. فَقَالُوا. So they began to say to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, مَا تَرَى مَا صَنَعَتْ Āishah. Do you not see what Āishah has done? أَقَامَتْ بِرَسُولِ اللَّهِ وَبِالنَّاسِ. She has caused the Prophet to have to stop his journey. Likewise, she has caused the people to have to wait on that journey. Look at what Āishah has done. She is the cause for us and the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to stop during this journey. We should have proceeded. وَلَيْسُوا عَلَى مَاءٍ وَلَيْسَ مَعَهُمْ مَاءٍ. لَيْسُوا عَلَى مَاءٍ. They are not in any location where they can find water. وَلَيْسَ مَعَهُمْ مَاءٌ. And they are not carrying water together with themselves. Look at what Āishah has caused. Āishah has caused us, radiyallahu anha. They were reporting Āishah to her father. The scholars say this is evidence. A woman may be reported to her father even though she had become married. A woman who had become married, she may be reported to her father. That is despite the fact that she's not divorced. She's still under the control of her husband. Yet she's being reported to her father. A woman who is married, who is in the house of her husband, she may be reported to her father. In this case, our mother radiyallahu anha, Āishah, the wife of the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, was being reported to who? Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, her father, that she has caused the entire Calvary, the entire group of traveling people, including the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to wait behind so that they could go and search for her necklace. So they came to report her to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. And they were saying that the people, radiyallahu anhum, laysu ala ma'in. They are not in anywhere nearby a well or a waterfront. Wa laysa ma'ahum ma'un. And they don't have any water with them. In another report, before we proceed from here, it said, فَجَاءَ أَبُو بَكْرٍ الصِّدِّيقِ radiyallahu anhu. So Abu Bakr as-Siddiq came to her. ورسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم واضع رأسه على فخذي. She said, Abu Bakr came while the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم واضع رأسه على فخذي. The Prophet was resting his head on my laps. The Prophet came, صلى الله عليه وسلم. The Prophet was resting his head on my legs. And then Abu Bakr Siddiq came. Radiyallahu anhu. The Prophet had slept, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. فقال, Abu Bakr Siddiq said, Habisti Rasulallah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam wal nas, wa laysu ala ma'in, wa laysa ma'ahum ma'. Should you have held us back? Should you have held back the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wan nas, and the rest of the people? Walaysu ala ma'in, and they are not anywhere near any water body that they can drink from and make wudu from. Walaysa ma'ahum ma'un, and they don't have water with them. Should you now make us to stay behind? Abu Bakr as-Siddiq came and said that to Āishah radiyallahu anha. That was why in this report that we are reading, qalat, she said, fa'atabani Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq blamed me. He reproached me radiyallahu anhu. This is evidence. The father can reproach his daughter, even though that daughter might have gotten married to a man that is noble. There is no such a noble man as the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Yet the father of his wife reproached his wife, who is his own daughter. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq reminded our mother Āishah radiyallahu anha. She said, fa'atabani Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was blaming me radiyallahu anhu. فَقَالَ مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ أَن يَكُونَ. He said what Allah permitted him to say. In some reports, he said, Habisti nas fi kilada. Habisti nas fi kilada. Are you holding back the people, making the people stay back and stop their journey? Fil kilada. Because of ordinary necklace. Should you make us stop? Is it ordinary necklace that you are making us to stop here? Radiyallahu anhu. In some other report, it said that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu said to her, fi kulli safarin lil muslimin minki ana'un wa bala'un. Fi kulli safarin lil muslimin. Each time, on every journey the Muslims embark on, minki lil muslimina minki ana'un wa bala'un. The Muslims always have ana'un. They always have toughness, problems. Wa bala'un. They always have trials. Each time we travel, you bring problem to us. Should you be doing that? All of these, what was she summarized in another report when she said, فَقَالَ مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ أَن يَكُونَ. He said what Allah willed that he should say. There are other reports about other things that Abu Bakr said, radiyallahu anhu. So she said, فَعَاتَبَنِي Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq blamed me. فَقَالَ مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ أَن يَكُونَ. He said, well, what Allah permitted that he said, وَجَعَلَ يَطْعَنُ بِيَدِهِ فِي خَاصِرَتِي. He began to use his fingers to puncture me at my rib area, khasira, at my side. He was puncturing me with his hands on my rib area. In a report in Sahih al-Bukhari, she said, radiyallahu anha, lakazani lakzatan shadidatan. Lakazani. He was poking me with his fingers. Lakzatan shadida. In a way that it was serious. Radiyallahu anha. She said, فَلَا يَمْنَعُنِي مِنَ التَّحَرُّكِ إِلَّا مَكَانُ النَّبِيِّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَآلِهِ وسلم عَلَى فَخِذِي لَا يَمْنَعُنِي مِنَ التَّحَرُّكِ. Nothing prevented me from moving إِلَّا مَكَانُ النَّبِيِّ عَلَيْهِ الصَّلَاةُ وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَى فَخِذِي, except the Prophet's placing his head on my laps. The reason I could not move. Hatta lakazani lakzatan. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was punching me, poking me with his fingers on my ribs. We know how that would be. You make the Prophet to stop. You make the rest of the Muslims to stop. You bring them trouble on every journey. You bring them problem on every journey. Are you making us to stop because of your necklace? In all of these, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was resting on her laps. This shows that this is a father that was concerned that his daughter should not bring inconvenience to her husband. Fathers, note this. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq's concern in all of these, that he spoke to her in the way he spoke to her, and he acted with her, reprimanding her, reproaching her was because it appeared that she was bringing inconvenience to her husband and to the rest of the Muslims. It appeared that Āishah radiallahu anha was bringing inconvenience to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and to the rest of the Muslims. Parents, please let us get this point clear. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq did not like his own daughter to bring inconvenience to her husband and to the rest of the people. I hope that parents will be like this. We are all parents now. We should not be encouraging that our daughters bring inconvenience to their husbands. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq spoke to Āishah the way he did because he saw that, in his view, radiyallahu anhu, Āishah radiyallahu anha was bringing inconvenience to who? To the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, her husband, and then to the rest of the Muslims. So, and then women should note this too. Your father can blame you if he sees that you are bringing inconvenience to your husband and to the rest of the people. If your father notices that this, my daughter, you are bringing inconvenience to the people, your father can blame you. The way Abu Bakr as-Siddiq blamed Āishah. He can even touch you on your ribs. He can draw your ears. You, this, my daughter, why are you bringing inconvenience to your husband and to the rest of the people? Perhaps maybe today some other men will be blaming their husbands, the husbands of their daughters, their son-in-laws. So for the sake of Allah, this was the lesson here. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was blaming our mother Āishah, was reproaching her because he considered it that she was bringing inconvenience to the rest of the Muslims and then to her husband just because she lost a necklace. And the Prophet insisting, alayhi salatu wasalam, that the journey should stop and the necklace should be searched for is evidence that men should pay attention to those things you will call women things that happen to women. Necklace is a matter of the women things. Men, will a man wear a necklace? Yet the Prophet paid attention to her. Oh, your necklace got lost. Please search for it. So some things that women consider important to them, even though we men may not consider it so important to us, because we don't use them. Because we don't use them does not now mean that we should not understand that those things are important to women. I hope that this point is clear. Necklaces are not worn by men. Women dress in necklaces. So it's a matter that is particularly feminine. Yet the Prophet did not discountenance that. He still paid attention to the matter that we can call women matter. Why? It has to do with his wife. And she's a woman. So it has to do with her. And she's a woman. She likes it. She pays attention to it. Then give her that space. Give her the space. Don't say, no, it's not important. Why? Because it's not a men's affair. No. Oh, it's not important. Why? It's not a general affair. No. This is an affair. This is a matter that concerns specifically the women. That respect should be accorded. Yes, it's a women's matter. It's a women's affair. The Prophet did not say, oh, because it's a women's affair, alayhi salatu wasalam. So, Āishah, get on, let's go. No. He didn't do that. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He helped her pay attention to something that was of concern to her, even though that thing may not be of direct concern to him. Do you understand? He still paid attention to it. There's a lot of stories, a lot of points of benefits in this. And look at Āishah. She was paying attention not to bring inconvenience to her husband. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. The Prophet was lying down on her legs. She could not move. Many women, your husband should be lying down in your rooms and you'll be banging the door. Women today, your husband should be lying down in your room and you are banging the door. Bang, boom, bang, bang. For Āishah, even though her father was poking her, she could not move. لِمَكَانِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ عَلَى فَخِذِهَا, because of the Prophet's place on her laps. Women today, your husband is not sleeping on your lap, so And yet, when you are going out of the room and coming out of the room, bang, boom, bang, boom, bang, banging the door. It also comes from the lessons in this hadith that a man can rest his head on the legs of his wife. A man can rest his leg on the legs of his wife. If it happens in the public sometimes, there's no blame. A man can rest his leg on the legs of his wives or his wife. He slept. Then he rests his head, as the Prophet did, when they were returning from that journey. So these are things that have to do with our relationship with our homes. So the Prophet ﷺ, she said, "Anama Rasulullah sallallahu hatta asbaha ala ghayri ma'in." So the Prophet slept sallallahu, and in the next morning there was still no water. Why was there no water? Laysu ala ma'in. They did not stop over in any place where there was water. وَلَيْسَ مَعَهُمْ مَاءٌ. And they did not have any sort of water with them. فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ آيَةَ التَّيَمُّمِ. Then Allah revealed the verse of Tayammum, as it occurs in Sahih Bukhari, that verse in Surah Al-Ma'idah. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا قُمْتُمْ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ فَأَغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ وَأَيْدِيَكُمْ إِلَى الْمَرَافِقِ وَامْسَحُوا بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ إِلَى الْكَعْبَيْنِ وَإِن كُنتُمْ جُنُبًا فَطَهَّرُوا وَإِن كُنتُمْ مرضى أو على سفر أو جاء أحد منكم من الغائط أو لامستم النساء فلم تجدوا ماء فتيمموا صعيدا طيبا فامسحوا بوجوهكم وأيديكم منه. This was the verse that was revealed in that circumstance. فَتَيَمَّمُوا. So the people made wudu. The people made wudu. They made tayammum. فَتَيَمَّمُوا مَعْذِرَةً. So the people, when they did not find water, so فَتَيَمَّمُوا. So they made wudu. مَعْذِرَةً. So they made tayammum. So they made tayammum. مَعْذِرَةً. The people made tayammum when they could not find water for wudu. فَقَالَ أُسَيْدُ ibn Hudayr وَهُوَ أَحَدُ النُّقَبَى. So Usayd ibn Hudayr, and he was one of those who partook from Medina in the allegiance that the people of Medina came to give to the Prophet ﷺ in Mecca before they made Hijrah. Usayd ibn Hudayr said, ما هذا بأول بركتكم يا آل أبي بكر ما هذا. This is not بأول بركتكم, the first of your blessings. O Ya al Abi Bakr as-Siddiq, O family of Abu Bakr. Ma hadha bi awwali barakatikum. This is not the first time you are bringing blessings to us. It's not the first time. In another report, he said, radiyallahu anhu, as we had read earlier, فَوَاللَّهِ مَا نَزَلَ بِكِ أَمْرٌ قَطٌ تَكْرَهِينَهُ إِلَّا جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لَكِ فِيهِ خَيْرًا. Oh, Āishah, there is nothing that happens to you that you don't like, except that in that thing that you don't like, Allah makes it a means of blessings for you. Here he said, مَا هَذَا بِأَوَّلِ بَرَكَتِكُمْ. This is not your first means of blessings. And the Prophet himself, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, he himself said, فَوَاللَّهِ, O Aisha, I swear by Allah, مَا نَزَلَ بِكِ مِنْ أَمْرٍ تَكْرَهِينَهُ إِلَّا جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لِلْمُسْلِمِينَ فِيهِ بَرَكَةً. The Prophet said something similar to what Usayd ibn Hudayr also said. In another report it says, لَقَدْ بَارَكَ اللَّهُ لِلنَّاسِ فِيكُمْ. لَقَدْ بَارَكَ اللَّهُ لِلنَّاسِ فِيكُمْ. Allah has blessed you, O family of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. All the time. Blessings shall come from you. Blessings will come from you. Abu Bakr, you and your children. Blessings, blessings. People will benefit from you. This is the blessing in discourse. The blessing in discourse is that the people will be in certain difficulty, or they'll be confused about a matter, and Allah will make you a means of clarifying the matter. or that people are largely in a condition of hunger, Allah will make you provide for them. These are barakat. Barakat is how much of favor, how much of blessings, how much of benefit do you have over the rest of the people. If Allah makes you a means of blessing, a means of guidance, a means of knowledge for the people, then you should know that Allah has placed barakah in you for those people. Qalat, Āishah said, radiyallahu anha, in completing this story, فَبَعَثْنَا الْبَعِيرَ الَّذِي كُنْتُ عَلَيْهِ. The camel that I was riding upon, it was on the ground before, so it was made to stand up. فَوَجَدْنَا الْعِقْدَ تَحْتَهُ. We just found the necklace under that animal. They were searching for it. It was the reason for which Allah brought them. And then they raised the camel to get set to start going. And then they found the necklace. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam also said that this your necklace is a necklace of barakat. This your necklace, a necklace of barakat. And of course, they are searching for it. It was also barakat. And they are waiting patiently with the Prophet was barakat. She was also patient. Radiyallahu anha. Look at what she said that her father was telling her. Some sisters today, maybe some women today might have replied their father, my father, don't disturb me. Let me search for my necklace. She was silent, radiyallahu anha. Where will she find a response to her father? In front of her husband. Radiyallahu anha. In the next page, in page 171, Al-Imām Adh-Dhahabi said, وَفِي مُسْنَدِ أَحْمَدٍ, in Musnad of Al-Imam Ahmad, min tariqi Muhammad ibn Ishaq, with a chain of reports collected by between Imam Ahmad and Muhammad ibn Ishaq. This is Muhammad ibn Ishaq ibn Yasar. Ulama call him Sahib al-Maghazi. He said here, Haddathana. So he has removed the problem of tadlis. So Muhammad ibn Ishaq said, Haddathana Yahya ibn Abbad ibn Abdullah ibn Zubayr. Yahya ibn Abbad ibn Abdullah ibn Zubayr. An Abihi, yani Abdullah ibn Zubayr. And Āishah radiyallahu anha qalat. This report is coming from Abdullah ibn Zubayr. So this is the third report from her about this story. The first one was from Urwa ibn Zubayr. The second one was from Al-Qasim ibn Muhammad, the grandchild of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. The third one is coming from who? Abdullah ibn Zubayr. Radiyallahu anhum. And Āishah radiyallahu anha qalat. From Āishah radiyallahu anha, who said, أقبلت علينا أقبلنا مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. We were returning along with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Don't forget, we had said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, some scholars say that these incidents happened when they were going out of Medina for the war Muraysiyah, for Ghazwa to Mustalik, for the war against Banu Mustalik. So when she says Aqbalna, it could mean, Wallahu alam, that they proceeded on the journey. So Aqbalna ma Rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We proceeded on the journey along with the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasallam. Hatta idha kunna biturban, until when we got a place called Turban. They said it is baladun baynahu wa bayna al-madinati baridun wa amyad. That is a small city, a small town. Baynahu wa bayna al-madina, between it and Medina. It means that it's a town that's not so far away from Medina. Baridun, a distance, wa amyad, and some miles. There's a distance and some miles between it. Don't forget. In some reports, we said it was Sulsul. And Sulsul is somewhere around Dhul-Hulayfa. In some reports, it said, well, it is what? Al-Bayda. Al-Bayda is around where? Dhul-Hulayfa. In some reports, we said it was what? Dhatul Jaysh. And that one too, Dhatul Jaysh, is not far away from Dhul Hulayfa. This incident happened around Dhul Hulayfa. وَهُوَ بَلَدٌ لَا مَاءَ بِهِ. And that is a city, a town where there is no water point, no fountain, no well, no water collection from where the people could drink water or make ablution with water. وَذَلِكَ مِنَ السَّحْرِ. And that one happened around the time of As-Sahar, not far away from the time of Fajr. So it's very likely that the Salah they observed without wudu was what? Salatul Fajr. So she said, radiyallahu anha, around that time and at that place, in Salat Kiladatun min unuki, in Salat, yani in Fasalat, a necklace that she had. We heard the story of that necklace. She borrowed that necklace from who? Asma. And that necklace was worth around how much? 12 silver coins. Radiyallahu anhuma. فَوَقَعَتْ. It fell down. It got off me and fell down. فَحُبِسَ عَلَيَّ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ. So the Prophet was held back for me. لِلْتِمَاسِهَا حَتَّى طَلَعَ الْفَجْرِ. The Prophet was held back for my sake. He was held back for my sake. لِلْتِمَاسِهَا. For the searching, so that to be able to search for that necklace. حَتَّى طَلَعَ الْفَجْرِ. They were searching for that necklace until it was the time of Salatul Fajr. Don't forget, the matter started before Fajr, fi waqti sahar, at the time before Fajr. وَلَيْسَ مَعَ الْقَوْمِ مَاءٌ. And the people don't have water. Don't forget, the place they were staying to is a place that has no water, like she said, radiyallahu anha, that وَهُوَ بَلَدٌ لَا مَاءَ بِهِ. There is no water body there that they could benefit from, to drink or make wudu. Radiyallahu anha. فَلَكِيتُ مِنْ أَبِي مَا اللَّهُ بِهِ عَلِيمٌ مِنَ التَّعْنِيفِ وَالتَّأْفِيفِ. لَكِيتُ مِنْ أَبِي مَا اللَّهُ بِهِ عَلِيمٌ. I saw from my father مَا اللَّهُ بِهِ عَلِيمٌ مِنَ التَّعْنِيفِ وَالتَّأْفِيفِ. I saw shiddah. I saw some toughness. At-ta'nif. I saw some toughness. My father he treated me with some toughness. What ta'fif, saying, don't forget, we had read in previous reports that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was saying to Āishah, Abisti nasi fil kilada? Is it because of necklace that you... So she was saying that لَكِيتُ مِنْ أَبِي وَاللَّهُ بِهِ عَلِيمٌ مِمَاذَا مِنَ التَّعْنِيفِ وَالتَّأْفِيفِ. I saw from my father what my eyes saw, what my father treated me with of toughness, at-ta'nif, what ta'fif, and blame, reproach. Mallahu bihi alim, only Allah knows. One of the points of benefit you gain from here was that it means he is not a person who used to treat her like that regularly. If he was used to treating her like that, she will not mention it specially. It means Abu Bakr as-Siddiq did not used to treat her harshly. It means Abu Bakr as-Siddiq did not used to always reprimand her, blame her. If he used to regularly reprimand and blame her, she will not see this one as special. But she saw it special and somehow strange, because that was not his regular way of relating with her. Is this clear to us? Radiyallahu anha. She said, فَلَكِيتُ مِنْ أَبِي مَا اللَّهُ بِهِ عَلِيمٌ مِنَ التَّعْنِيفِ وَالتَّأْفِيفِ. I saw from my father the kind of harshness and reprimand that only Allah knows how it was. وَقَالْ. He even said to me, فِي كُلِّ سَفَرٍ لِلْمُسْلِمِينَ مِنْكِ عَنَاءٌ وَبَلَاءٌ. فِي كُلِّ سَفَرٍ, every journey, لِلْمُسْلِمِينَ مِنْكِ عَنَاءٌ وَبَلَاءٌ. The Muslims will always have ana'un and bala. People will always suffer and get into trials from you, O Āishah. فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ الرُّخْصَةَ فِي التَّيَمُّمِ. That was the reason for which Allah revealed Ar-Rukhsata fi Tayammum, the ease of making Tayammum. Tayammum al-Qawm, so the people made Tayammum, was-Sallaw, and then they observed Salah. Which Salat was that? Salatul Fajr. They observed Salatul Fajr. Qalat, she said, radiyallahu anha, يقول أبي حين جاء من الله من الرخصة للمسلمين. يقول أبي. My father was saying when that ease for the Muslims was brought. He was saying before, you are bringing us trouble on every journey. Is it because of necklace you make us to stay here? Is that? Radiyallahu anhuma. But when the verse came down, that we should be making tayammum whenever we don't find water, and to be like that forever in this ummah. يقول أبي حين جاء من الله من الرخصة للمسلمين. When the rukhsah came down for the Muslims, my father started to say, Wallahi, I swear by Allah, ما علمت يا بنيات إنك لمبارك إنك لمباركة ما علمت يا بنيات إنك لمباركة. I didn't know, my daughter, that you are so blessed a girl. So the name Abu Bakr as-Siddiq called Āishah in this hadith is what? Mubarakah. There's a brother amongst us who has a daughter called Āishah. When he teases her, he calls her Mubarakah. So Abu Bakr as-Siddiq referred to Āishah as what? Mubarakah. In which circumstance? In the case of Nuzuli Ayati Tayammumi, he said, Wallahi, ma alimtu ya bunayya innaki la mubarakatun. Oh, my daughter. I didn't know. Ma alimtu innaki la mubarakatun. I didn't know that you are such a blessed girl. ماذا جعل الله للمسلمين في حبسك إياهم من البركة واليسر. Look at what جعل الله للمسلمين, what Allah has brought for the Muslims. في حبسك إياهم. In this you're holding them back. Meanwhile, he was the one who was blaming her and reproaching her that, hey, because of your necklace, you stopped us. Oh, because of your necklace, you stopped the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam. Now that it became a means of goodness, he also acknowledged the goodness. This showed that when he was criticizing her, reprimanding her as a father, he was doing it from goodness. That was why when it now became clear that it was because of goodness, so he was praising her to Ma alimtu ya bunayya innaki la mubarakatun. ماذا جعل الله للمسلمين في حبسك إياهم من البركة واليسر. Look at the kind of blessing and ease that you are holding the Muslims back brought to them. Means you are a means of barakah for the Muslims. You are a means of blessings for the Muslims. I didn't know that. Oh, this my daughter. You are so blessed, girl. Look at how this you are holding the Muslims back has become a means of al-barakatu wal-yusr, a means of blessing and ease for the rest of the Muslims. This was Abu Bakr as-Siddiq with the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam and Āishah radiyallahu anha. I think this is a good place to stop about this so that we can go on asking questions about this incident, Abu Abdurrahman.
Jazakumullahu khairan ya Shaykh.
Ameen wa antum fa jazakumullahu khairan.
So there is only a question.
Yeah.
Says Hassan alaykum.
Ameen wa
Is it now allowed to name our daughters Āishah Mubarakah together, sir?
Yes, the Mubarakah is Āishah. Just like Siddiqa radiallahu anha. She's Siddiqa, she's Mubarakah. So the person is Āishah. The person itself is Āishah. So if you name a girl Āishah, you can call her Siddiqa. You can call her Mubarakah. Because of Āishah, not because of your daughter herself. All those attributes come together with Āishah. Just like Al-Faruq comes with that name, Omar. Just like As-Siddiq comes with that name, Abu Bakr, just like the rest of the Muslims too. So if you name your daughter Āishah, it is Āishah, the first Āishah, al-Mu'mineen, who is what? Mubarakah, essentially. And she's the one that's what? Siddiqah. So the way you took Āishah is the name the way you're also taking these ones too. You want your own Āishah to be Siddiqah too. You want your own Āishah to also be what? Mubarakah too. The same name, the same way we have Ibrahim alayhi salam. Most Ibrahim, if you say somebody is Ibrahim, you always come with Khalil, Khalilullah. So when it's not him that you are talking about, when you say Khalil, you are talking about who? The Ibrahim, together with whom he bears that name. So if you say Āishah is your daughter, and then she's Mubarakah, she's also what? Siddiqah. All of that refer to who? Āishah, radiyallahu anha. I hope that this is clear about Ibrahim.
نعم يا شيخنا. نعم يا شيخنا.
Yeah.
Another question related to, does that mean if we name Khadija, can we give the Tahira that comes with it?
Well, people say that. I have not seen that in Hadith. Khadija radiyallahu anha bintu Khuwaylid Tahira. If it comes with it in authentic Hadith, then so be it. If it comes like that in authentic Hadith, the way Mubarakah has come in authentic Hadith for Āishah, the way Siddiqah has come in authentic Hadith with Āishah, then we can call a Khadija, we can refer to her as Tahira. If it comes together like that in an authentic Hadith. And I don't know anyone now. It's possible, but I don't know now. Allahu Akbar.
Jazakumullah khairan ya Shaykh.
We already spent the time of Abdurrahman. Can we stop here today? Bi-idhnillah, in the next class. Imām Adh-Dhahabi has brought more reports in the relationship between that triangle, the Prophet, our mother Āishah, radiyallahu anha, and Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Another incident between the three of them. That is the next thing we'll be reading again in our next class. Another incident between Āishah, radiyallahu anha, the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, in the middle of the two of them, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. You will see in the entirety of the story we read today, the Prophet did not say anything. It was between Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and who? Āishah. He was even sleeping. He might have been hearing what Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was saying to his daughter, radiyallahu anha. The Prophet would have been hearing, but he didn't say anything, alayhi salatu wasalam. He allowed it to be between the father and the daughter. And then when it became a means of goodness, the father also came to congratulate the daughter again. And the Prophet also congratulated Āishah, meaning that if something good happens to a wife, the husband should congratulate her. If something good happens to her, the husband should congratulate her. The way Āishah radiyallahu anha congratulated, the way the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam congratulated and praised Āishah. There are many women, if good things happen to their husbands, they will not congratulate him. If they congratulate him like, let's just congratulate him. The same thing some men. Some their wives does something good, they will not congratulate her. If they congratulate her, they'll just do it. We shall congratulate. So let us not be like this. Look at Usayd ibn Hudayr too. He also came to say something good about Āishah, despite the fact that he was the one who was sent to go and search for that necklace. If it were some men today, they'll be blaming her. See, look at the necklace is there. They'll be raising their voices and speaking evil. But Usayd ibn Hudayr said goodness. In fact, some people don't like good to happen to others. Not to even say congratulate. They don't like it. They will say something that's a poison, not to make you enjoy your goodness. They can even congratulate and pass one dirty word inside the congratulation. People are like that. In the name of congratulating, they pass one dirty expression inside it. I have many examples. People behave as if they are congratulating you. They put one dirty expression in the congratulation. This is not good at all. If you don't congratulate the person, it's better than behaving as if you are congratulating him when you actually intend to spoil his joy or her joy. This is the way of munafiqun. Munafiqun would be saying to the Prophet a word that they think they want him to be happy about, but they actually intend to poison his feelings. It's the way of munafiqun. So there are people, they see you with goodness. They want you to feel bad. And they'll be behaving as if they are congratulating you. They'll put one poison in that their so-called expression of congratulation. May Allah protect us. Sometimes it can happen between the husband and the wife. The husband will be congratulating the wife and he will poison the congratulation. Sometimes too, it is the wife that is congratulating the husband. She will poison the congratulation so that it will pain him. And she will know that he will get it that, oh, I didn't like to congratulate. So why congratulating the person? But you could see Usaid ibn al-Hudayr. Almost the same thing Usaid said was the same thing the Prophet said, alayhi salam. Look at the congratulation of Abu Bakr and Siddiq too. Oh, my daughter, I didn't know you are such a blessed girl. Barakallahu feek. And all of these. So for the sake of Allah, let us learn to be happy with the happiness of our brothers. Be happy when your brother is happy. It's a worship. You get rewarded for it. Many people, their brothers will be happy. They will be feeling sad. The times that they feel happy is when their own brothers are feeling sad. May Allah protect us from these kinds of people. I think it will be sufficient for us today about Rahman to stop here today.
Jazakumullah khair, ya Shaykh.
Ameen, ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.